So I've made some videos in the past about this, I think, but I wanted to reiterate it because I think it's really important. And that is, what is the purpose of life? And the purpose of life is God. Okay, why is this important? Because what happens is we start to think that other things are the purpose of life, or we might start thinking that there is no purpose. And what can happen is, I made a video the other day about the sparkles coming off the water, and we get attached to the sparkle and we think the sparkle is the goal. And what happens is that just leads us, it's not leading us to, it will lead us to source eventually. It will lead us to God eventually, because that's how it's designed. Eventually you're going to tire out and you're going to, return to source. You're going to get played out where you're just like, I'm done, I'm tired. And you're just going to relax, and then you're going to go, whoa, this is it the whole time. It was so easy. It was so simple. Why was I fighting it this whole time? It's like a little child fighting to go to sleep, They don't know. They want to stay awake and play, but the body has to rejuvenate, so they need to go to sleep. But what I could see being one of the spiritual, like people who are on a spiritual path, I could see where it'd be real easy to get caught up in all the, you could get real caught up in, maybe it's a guru, or maybe you get caught up in, extraterrestrials, higher level beings, they might, you might be making connections with entities, outside this normal 3D reality, and it's kind of a play. You could get real caught up in that and be like, oh my gosh, I'm making contact with these beings in this, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not shying away from that. For me personally, I have no attachment to it. I think it's neat. I've been watching some James Gilliland, and he has a place out by Mount Adams in Washington State, and he has groups go out and they basically are making contact with these UFOs, and he himself has made a lot of contact with extraterrestrial beings, the Pleiadians, and a lot of different people and a lot of different entities. So I think that's neat, and I think there's a lot to learn. I mean, we have a lot to learn. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's source. I mean, let's imagine for a second that we're just way advanced. Like we're these entities, and we're just like at a high level of spirituality. We're, flying in spaceships. We're time traveling. We're doing all this stuff. It's still not source. It's still not God. It's neat. It's amazing, and it's a higher level. But it's still not the goal. And maybe, for them, the contrast isn't as stark. So maybe they don't have a goal to return to source. Maybe their goal is, hey, we like it right where we're at. And they need to experience that for multitudes of lifetimes, and that's their gig. But what's kind of cool about being a human being is we're kind of thrown to lower levels, and we're on this real raw baseline level, and it gets real easy to get tired out here. We just physical energy alone, you just get tired out, you get played out, and that is a gift. That's one of the gifts of this 3D reality, is the fact that it's so exhausting and wears us out so much, because it makes us dive inward faster. Whereas if we were at higher levels, maybe we just wouldn't be attracted to that. Maybe our life is good, things are easy. We can manifest things. We can, like I say, have all this technology. And we already maybe feel more of a connection to God at those levels. So we really don't pursue going deeper. And I think that it's kind of a weird thing, but it's almost like we're being gifted this incredible opportunity just by being in these physical bodies, because it pushes us towards that realization that, hey, I want to go deeper. I want to go towards source. I want to be the best person I can be, and go deeper. And since I started doing this heartfulness meditation, that's one thing I was going to say is, and I'll keep repeating, is the thing that's different about it for me is it's made me want to be the best person I can be. And I was doing a spiritual path before. I was doing transcendental meditation for 25 years. And there was times when I wanted to purify my system, where I would do like physical purification, fasting, eating healthy, or, more clean and things like that. But it never really made me want to be a better person on the inside. I was trying to do everything from the outside. But when I learned the heartfulness meditation, it made me, one of the kind of realizations I had with it was it just made me feel like I wanted to be a better person on the inside. And the stuff on the outside, not so important. Yeah, you need to eat healthy. Yeah, you need to exercise. Yeah, you need to take care of yourself. But that wasn't any more like a prerequisite for me to have that inner cleansing and inner opening and inner light shine forth. Not a prerequisite anymore, because once that heart area opens, the physical body is just a vehicle. It's just it's like a car. As long as it gets you from A to B, it's serving its purpose. And there's no reason to, spend all this time and energy pampering it. Even saints, they give up the body, or they suffer disease, and they suffer problems, and people will be like, well, how come they don't heal themselves? They got all this power and all this stuff. Why don't they heal themselves? It's because there's no point. What's the point? It's temporary. But the soul, the spirit, they've attained that highest level of realization. So they don't need to spend the energy on taking care of that vehicle anymore. It's time to let that vehicle go. It served its purpose. It got you from A to B. It was a beautiful gift from the Creator, but it's time to just let it go. Okay. Have a good day.